Oh, okay. So I am working with what's happening over here. And sometimes things happen in my head, and then I think, ooh, I may need to fix this. But today is Content Creation Day. It's Friday. And believe it or not, I'm looking at the camera like, there are clothes on. There's clothing here. This is not Gwendolyn doing stuff that's like out of pocket. So we're gonna figure out what we might have to do to see. I think what I'm gonna have to do is, I think what I might do is put on a jacket. Because but even I don't even know if that makes it better. I'm not really sure. I know this much. Let me do this. Let me put on some music, and then I'll figure out the wardrobe later. Oh man, the worst thing that can happen is that I get banned before I even get a chance to come on. You know what I'm saying? So, so the deal is, it's Content Creation Day. Shout out to all the Virgos out there because it is now our season, and September is literally right around the corner. And so I have to get, because it's what I do, I need some birthday photos. You know what I'm saying? So I have a particular look that I'm going for, and I don't need any sleeves, so it's sleeveless, but it looks like I'm naked. So, I thought, maybe I should put on a jacket just in case this doesn't look good for all the places this is broadcasting, which would be LinkedIn and YouTube at this time. I don't want to get like X's and marks and stuff like that. But Gwendolyn has clothes on. I have on clothes, right? I have on clothes. So I'm not naked, but I know optics. Okay, so before we get into it, let us shout out some people. Now, let me say this really quick, because again, Content Creation Friday, I am wearing my contacts. And I can see most of my screen, but I also know that if it gets really tiny, I need my readers. So I have them close. But shout out to my mama who is here. Hello, mother. Hello. And Tanya's in the building. Hello, Tanya. Shout out to you too. We have a poll going on for those of you who are on YouTube. And we talk about how YouTube is a better experience. There is a poll going on. And we're discussing if you believe that people use religion, are currently using religion to mask their hate. Just asking. I'm just asking. It's a little sidebar. But again, it's Friday, which is TGIFF. That G is Fire Fridays. We're going to start here with Girl Listen. This is where we're starting. We'll pick it up on Indie Soup Media. We have a 1 hour special today on Indie Soup Media. We will not have Ladies Listen Up tonight, but a 1 hour special today with my bestie, Josie Pickens, the pleasure activist. We're going to talk about how pleasure is a human right. And it's interesting. It's perfect timing. It's always around the summer, I'm noticing, because people have been, and I say people, I'm trying to be gracious. People have been talking about the joy that VP Harris and Tim Walz are talking about, the Democrats are talking about. And there is this discussion that joy is not really a policy, right? And I remember when I spoke with Joe about this, there were people again who look like me who were upset with how a number of Black graduates, high school, college, whatever, were celebrating. And there is just something about Black folks being happy, that people just get upset about. Like, how dare you be happy? This is not that show. So let me not go down that path, but we may have to revisit that. Shout out to Gary. Hey, what's going on there, compadre? Shout out to you. And as we're going through all the things, I will say this, I am enjoying a cocktail. Okay, it's not really a cocktail, but it is a nice glass of coconut iced tea. I know. It's from H2O, and it's really tasty. And my beautiful glass. So make sure you get your Girl Listen merch and all the beautiful things. And before I get into our topic, I know I'm giving all the news because I want to get into the conversation. I want to hear your thoughts on it. We've got some great stuff coming up because I have nothing else to do. But I'm going to talk about if Black women would just listen. And I'm bringing my dear friend Rain Love to help me have that conversation. Ooh, y'all. September is my month, man. I be stepping in it. September is my month. And then, of course, because it is my month, we're going to do another virtual birthday party. 49, is that you? Is that you, 49? If the good Lord allows, yes, that will be Gwendolyn. 49 peoples, 49 and put on her read. I gotta make sure I can read things, you know what I'm saying? So let's get right into it. Again, we've got our poll going on. If you're on YouTube, the poll is going on. Want to know how you feel about, do you believe that some people use religion to mask their hate? And it got me to thinking that people need to get right with God. I'm gonna go ahead and say it. They need to get right with the good Lord. Now, I know that I talk about religion often, and it does not escape me that I am blessed beyond measure. I woke up this morning. I was able to have breakfast and other things. So I'm feeling really good. But I do feel some kind of way about organized religion. I'm sure all of you understand that part of me. I'm sure you do. So let me give you a Bible verse, because sometimes I feel like getting into a little something. Let not the wise man boast in his wisdom. Let not the mighty man boast in his might. Let not the rich man boast in his riches. That's Jeremiah 9:23 and 24. Because something the other day, I was talking with my mama. I'm going to go ahead and lay it down for you people. And I was just remarking on the audacity of man. We have gotten to a place, in my opinion, looking at, you could say social media, what have you. But we, in my opinion, have just truly forgotten, what's all going on here. And I just have this feeling that we don't truly recognize just how small we are in this big, vast world. But we are bold. We are audacious. And when we speak about things, we speak about it in terms that I just feel like, now, I talk about religion, and that is on the list. We are going to talk about, again, how people use religion to mask hate and inflict pain upon others. I also want to talk about Mother Nature, and I brought up the Tower of Babel. I want to talk about that too. And then just getting right. Can we just get right? But let me start with how small we are, first of all. Because we often think about ourselves being top of the food chain and being amazing. And I just, something about it, I don't mind a little bit of bragging here and there, but I don't forget to say my blessings. I recognize why I am here. I recognize the life I have, my family members, my friends, the opportunities. It's not coming from just anywhere. Just not. And, when people talk about, it's one of my favorite Bible verses, pray without ceasing. I'm always saying prayers. When I get out into this world and I get in my car, I'm like, dear Lord, please let me come back safely. Because it's not promised. I have already made plans for my 50th birthday. And I know, hey, my work husband's here. Hello, Mr. Ron Foster. I have made those plans. But that's why I always say, if the Lord allows, I'll be celebrating the 49, the 50, and anything else. Because like we're not really running the show here. Like we're not. I know we feel like we're doing something and we feel really big, but we're not really running the show. We do control how we respond to things, and we do think about our decisions. Like if you make the decision again to not pay your light bill, it's going to be some problems. So we know that, but we're not really in control of all of this. And I just feel like we forget it. So let me start with the very first one. And I know it's not on this list, but I'm starting with this one first. I'm going to talk about this hate really quick. I want to talk about this hate because it's there. And I don't care how you say it, it is there. When people make these conversations and they want to say that, if you're living a Christian life, if you're a good Christian, if you are this, then you'll do X, Y, Z. Those man-made rules, I'm going to say just like those are man-made rules. But when you are using it to hurt other people, I have to go back and ask myself, what Bible are you reading? Now, I know there's a lot of conversation about abortion and other things. And I do know that there was a certain person who said 2 wrongs don't make it right. But you can't tell me that you are looking at someone who has been harmed, and that you're going to use your religious beliefs to inflict pain. I will go as simple as people's preferred pronouns and their preferred name. None of that, not one bit of that has anything to do with your religious belief. The name that my parents gave me, how I see myself, has nothing to do with your religious beliefs. Nada. It is a point to hurt someone else when you choose to use their use a pronoun that they don't see, when you choose to say their name incorrectly as if you can't figure it out. Those are choices. Those are man-made conscious decisions to inflict pain on somebody else, to be mean and nasty. That's what that is. That's not religious belief. It's not. What somebody wants to do with their life ain't got nothing to do with me. Nothing. Now, we all live in glass houses. I know my age is showing. We live in glass houses. But some of us feel as if I should be able to come into your glass house and tell you how to clean your windows. That's not how that works. What was that song? It's an old gospel song. Sweep around your own front door. Yeah, that one. Take care of your business. But you're purposely doing things. Now, I'm going to talk about the Olympics really quick. Hey, shout out to my compadre, 𝐊𝐬𝐬. Ma'am, I owe you so much. Hold on here. I got to get on these glasses because, I am at that tender age where I don't need progressives, but I do need Ritas. So she also sends a hello to Ron and Tanya and Gary. And she says, I need to come into your glass house and tell you how to clean your windows. Yeah. Now people's hate, their hate is showing. And I have said this on many platforms. I prefer Archie Bunker. I prefer George Jefferson. If you're a bigot, tell me that. I will accept you as you are. I may look at you sideways, but at least I know who you are. But let's think about the Olympics, where somebody decided that a woman who was all woman, because she had never been hit like that before, was all of a sudden now a man. And people jumped on that, which all I could see, take it back, all I could see was clearly someone's phobia coming to light. Someone's phobia coming to light. How many times have they accused Serena Williams of being a man? And any other woman, and I'm going to say a woman of color primarily, when she is bold and doing all the things and just like amazing in her craft, that the first thing people will do is talk about your gender. They question it. Like you can't be natural. Like that can't be natural. It's disgusting. Okay? It is disgusting. But we like to use, our religious beliefs as a way of saying, well, I don't think the good Lord has done that. And that's not the way that it's like, stop it. Full stop. The human body is so amazing. We are still learning things about it. Like when people talk about, let's say, medicine, and they give you all of these things could happen, it's because we're not one size fits all. Somebody somewhere is part of that 2% that's going to have the really bad reaction. That's all that is. It is never a 100%. It is a, hey, this may occur, but for most of you, it's going to work out. We have so much more that we have to learn about the human body. So when people want to use their religion as if they understand what's going on, yeah, do I question it? You're darn right I question it. And I do look at you sideways. Again, if you feel some kind of way about women, transgender persons, gay, bisexual, whatever, say that. If you don't like Black folks, say that. Just say it. No one's gonna, well, I wouldn't hate you for it. I wouldn't hate you for it. Am I gonna look at you sideways? Yeah, but I'm not gonna hate you for it. You are who you are. God bless you. Okay? It's not my place. But I would much rather you be open and honest and self-aware than trying to fool other people, because actually you're fooling no one. So let me go to this other one, because we talked about hate, which is huge right now. I want to talk about Mother Nature really quick. And this is what really got me started on going down this path, because I was going to, visit my mother to help her out. There is, we had the hurricane in Houston, and there were damages and things. And I'm looking at the city as big as it is, where some people are really impacted and some were not. But the discussion of this hurricane, it was just a Category 1 hurricane. It was just a couple of days. It was just, and I thought to myself, wow, how amazing for us to be in a time where we can speak about natural acts as if it's just a Sunday afternoon storm. It's a hurricane, people. It's a Category 1. And this idea of the power grid shouldn't fail. Now, do I believe that Texas needs to work on its power grid? I most certainly do. That does not mean that even if they had, some of the things that happen would still have happened. You can plan for a lot of stuff. Again, we don't run anything. We can plan for all the things here, but if a tornado came through and wiped this sucker off the map, can't nobody do nothing about it. Like, we have no power over that. But they were speaking about these man-made creations, that they should withstand Mother Nature, as if we are just so, I'm use the word big, so powerful that what man creates cannot be destroyed. I am here to tell you those are lies. Man is fatally flawed, okay? And anything man makes will be destroyed. Can be, has always been. Now, I talk about the Tower of Babel, and I know that the Tower of Babel, depending on what Sunday school you went to, was more about how we got the different languages, right? But you have these people who had the idea of building this tower to the sky because, as the story goes, they didn't want to be impacted by the flood again. And it was the hubris of man at play. It has always been that way. There is always something in us that tells us that we are bigger than and better than. And this is where I go again with religion. I understand that in a lot of religions and cultures, women are seen as less than. I understand it. We know it. We have a VP running for president and people act like I just can't vote for her. She's just not qualified. I know she's a lawyer, was a prosecutor, and did all this stuff, but she's not qualified. If you don't want to vote for her because she's a woman, just say that. Okay? Just Just say that. But we also know in the church, in a lot of religions, women are not seen as leaders, and women are not typically allowed to lead a congregation. And here is where I go again with the audacity of man. I don't know how any person can tell another person what the good Lord has not put in their heart and in their pathway. If the good Lord gave me a message, can't nobody stop it, including the person behind the pulpit. That's not your job. It's not your place. It's never our place to tell somebody what they can and can't do. That's not our place. You know, when I go to bed at night, there is not a person out here on that street that tucks me in. When I get up in the morning, it's not because of them. It is by the grace of God. Plain and simple. Plain and simple. So when people tell me what women can't do and what you can't do and what you're not called for and what's not in your path, I'm like, take a whole stadium of seats. That's not your spot. It's never your spot. And all these man-made rules is just that, man-made. If the good Lord called you for something, can't nobody stop it. It is in you. Can't nobody take that away from you. And I don't mind saying it. I'm going to say it 5,000 times. All the time. Now, believe what you want. Shout out to Black Eighth Element. Believe what you want. Believe what you may. This much I do know. There will always be a time when sometimes man has to be humbled. Always. It will always be a time there. We get a little big for our britches. We get a little big. And I believe we sometimes forget. Now, I know people like to do their praising when they're going through a storm and they forget when they're out of it. Look, pray without ceasing and call it a day. Or whomever you pray to, whatever. But can't nobody tell you what the good Lord has put in you. Nobody has control over that. Not a person. Especially not a man. Or any other human for that matter. Like, that's not how that works. Freedom of religion. Can we go there really, really quick? Can we? I don't know what you guys believe in. It doesn't really matter to me. I could have sworn when we came to this country, and some of us, yes, were born here from our ancestors who were, I don't know, probably tucked away on some boat. Some of us were already here. And then there are some others who just, okay. It is the right. You know, we have these freedoms. Freedom of speech, freedom to eat whatever you want until your body says otherwise. We have these freedoms. And, you know, religion has been one of those. We have a variety of ideas. Some people don't even believe in God. And that's their choice. That's their right. It's not me to question that. That is their choice. I believe in God. I don't participate in organized religion, but I do believe in the good Lord. And I count my blessings daily. There you go. That's where I am. So when people try to tell me that this country was founded with Christian values, we got to stop all that foolishness. We got to stop that. Stop, full stop. Now, I know this country was stolen from some other people, but I don't think it was founded on Christian values. We need to, come on now, cut it out. Cut all that out. Like, stop. The beauty of this experiment is for us to see, can we really live together and have peace or something close to it? And just let each person recognize their fullest potential. I do believe it's possible. I really do believe it's possible. We have seen some good times. Right now, we're going through, I don't know, a cleansing. I will say this before I say I don't know. People are clearly showing all of their cards. I was talking to a friend earlier, just literally before I came on here. And I said, I would really appreciate if people would just say how they really feel. Now, I know we went to this whole deal of being politically correct, and now we're using this code language. Cut it out. Just cut out the code language. Like, just stop. If you don't really like Black people, but you can tolerate us, then say that. That's fine. It don't hurt me none. Trust. It ain't no big deal to me. Say that. If you start with, I appreciate people who are gay, but stop it. Okay? Stop. Say how you feel. Now, obviously, you're thinking, well, Gwendolyn, if I say how I really feel, I might lose my job. I might get I might get some social media backlash. That's a possibility. It is. I prefer upfront and honest. That's what I prefer. Hey, shout out to Serena, by the way, who is coming to the building. Shout out to Serena. I prefer upfront and honest. So I know who I am dealing with, who I'm working with. I don't think that's a bad thing. I don't think. Consider this. The stuff we have out here right now, and I will go with VP Harris, that they are discussing how she's so unqualified, but yet she has held a number of jobs, and maybe she left the fact that she worked at McDonald's off her resume. The woman is clearly skilled, okay? She's clearly skilled. When we start saying things to help ourselves feel good in articulating our clear biases and prejudices, okay, I'm just saying, like, just stop. Now, there was a lady, and I can't even think of her name, but she was recently on social media out in like this coconut outfit, and she was monkeying around. Yeah, they came for her. Is there a way to do it? I believe there is a way to do it to where you don't look like, I'm sorry, mother, an ass hat. There is a way to articulate it. But you have to be self-aware. You have to ask yourself, why do you feel the way that you feel? That requires some work that not all of us are ready to do. I like how a Black Eighth Element says, human nature is built off hierarchy. There will always be a conflict. Always be a conflict. I always feel like, you know what, when stuff gets really out of pocket, Mama Nature gonna come in there and wipe some stuff out. That's also, again, the hubris of man wanting to move rivers to build what they want to build. And when the river says, I don't recall this being my natural pathway, let me go back and find it. Right? When we decide to build and chop down trees and just like locusts take over everything, and then we wonder why our little Shih Tzu was snatched up by some bobcat. Yeah. We forget where we are. We forget where we are. But I want to do this as we wrap this up, because it's about that time. It's about that time, people. Time just goes by so fast here. I want to leave you with a little bit of a verse. As they used to say in the church, if you have your Bible, you can turn to it. It says, beloved, let us love one another, for love is of God, and everyone that loveth is born of God and knoweth God. He that loveth not knoweth not God, for God is love. God is love, people. In this was manifested the love of God toward us, because that God sent his only begotten Son into the world that we might live through him. Herein is love, not that we loved God, but that he loved us, and he sent his Son to be the propitiation for our sins. Beloved, if God so loved us, we ought also to love one another. God is love. Okay? You know how people say, how often do you go to church? I don't ask how often you go to church. I just watch what you do. You are the church. If you are out here doing some really awful things, yeah, I am questioning what's really in your heart. I'm going to question it every single time, and rightfully so. And here is how I want to end this. If a man say, I love God, and hateth his brother, he is a liar. For he that loveth not his brother, whom he has seen, how can he love God whom he has never seen? 1 John 4:20. Yeah. You can't tell me that you love the good Lord and you're sitting in church every day and then hate the person right across the street from you. You can't tell me that. It's not what you say. It's what you do. I know that's old school, but that's real. Talk is cheap. Actions will always speak louder than words. I do recall when I would be out and about and I would have strangers come up to me and say, hey, can you tell me, hey, do you know, da, 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 da. And I'm thinking, is there something about me? It's the energy you give off, people. People can see the good Lord in you. They can see whatever higher power you possess in you. Now, am I petty? Yeah, I got my moments. You damn right, I got my moments. I am human, but I know this much. When people see me, they see the good Lord walking. God is love. End of story. If you are about your brother, your sister, anyone out here doing better, you're going to show that. You're going to act on that. When you believe in power over people, making people's life miserable, criminalizing the idea of being poor, you got something else going on and you should probably get into your Bible. That's what I'm going to say. That's where that goes. This is where we are. Now, our poll is closing soon. I guess I should probably check it. I didn't even check the poll. Poll is closing soon, but we were asking if you believe that some people are using hate. Some people are using hate to mask it. We have 75% say yes, and then 25% says sometimes yes, sometimes no. And that's where we are. I'm gonna tell you right now, when people say stuff like, our country and we're taking it back from this, and it's the word choice for me. They're protecting the unborn. Stop it. Stop it. Because the good Lord would not want to inflict this kind of pain upon people. That's not love at all. Grace and mercy, people. Grace and mercy. We are only here because of God's grace and mercy. And if there's anything I can do, I will extend it to somebody else, whenever the chance I get. And I know we all have a line, but I will extend it, even to myself. Even to myself. I'm fully aware of who I am. The good Lord knows my heart. Woo, Lord have mercy. And yes, me using vulgarities, yeah, it doesn't stop it. He still loves me, just in case you didn't know. But let me do this as we wrap this up, because it's 30 minutes already. What? Come back next week. Again, I've got my friend Rain Love. She's coming. We're going to talk about if Black women would just listen. Who only knows where I'm going to go with that one? Who only knows where I'm going to go with that one? Yes. And then after that, we're going to have our virtual birthday party again. I have to go out. Yes, I am bringing back the confetti, although Mr. Jack has told me not to do it. I keep confetti on the table. I keep it. I stays ready. I stays ready for a party. So we're going to get some more confetti guns and have a good time. Oh, hey, Brian. Hello to you. Thank you for coming in, though. There's always a replay. As we close this out and we head into a long weekend, as I say, be safe out there. Give yourself and others grace and mercy. We are all going through something. Trust and believe that. Trust and believe it. You know what I mean? Consider that. But please be safe. Do what you got to do. My last thing, just because I can, and I'm living in Texas, if you have not made sure that you are still registered to vote, be sure to check it. There's some tomfoolery down here. And I have to tell you, like the first 2 times I checked it and they didn't find my name, I'm not gonna lie, I got really serious. And then I realized they made sure I had a Renee in there. So I was like, ooh, okay, because I know I'm voting. So check your stuff, do your due diligence, enjoy the weekend, be safe. I will see you all here next week, next Friday. Yes. Wait a minute. Hold on. I think I have music to play. Oh, there it is. Oh, and I gotta go take my photos. Bye. Thank you for watching another episode of Girl, Listen. Be sure to tune in every other Friday at 4 p.m. Central Standard Time, and we also invite you to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel.